So throughout everything we cover today, there's going to be a really important underlying skill for the teacher or the parents working with the child, and that's going to be the skill of prompting. Now, what is prompting? Prompting is possibly one of the most important skills involved in teaching anyone anything. Prompting is the actions that you take as a teacher to help impart the knowledge you're trying to pass on to your child when they don't currently understand what you expect from them. Now, when should you prompt? Generally, you're going to be prompting when a child has demonstrated an inability to successfully perform a task. And that isn't necessarily always going to be due to a lack of knowledge, though most commonly will be. You will often prompt if a child is not attending or is being a bit willfully defiant. There's a few different situations where prompting is going to keep your child on track or back on task, and it's going to lead to that place where a child originally didn't know how to do something and now they do. So really good prompting is going to look the least invasive as possible. So what does that mean? Well, there's a prompting hierarchy. So there's the most extreme prompt, and then there becomes less and less and less and less extreme prompts. So the most extreme prompt that you're ever going to see is full hand-over-hand prompting. Now, what does that look like? So we have a situation here where I'm going to be asking Shelda to either give me the yellow or the green car. Now, she's going to offer me a non-response because at this point, she doesn't understand that the words coming out of my mouth have anything to do with picking something up and handing it over to me. So I'm going to say, Shelda, give me the yellow car. There is no response. I'm going to issue my instruction again, and I'm going to hand over hand prompt. Shelda, give me the yellow car. Great work, Shelda. So that's a full hand over hand prompt. That's really the most extreme type of hand over hand prompt. A lot of children are going to need to start there with receptive goals that they have no idea how to do at this point. And that's totally okay. But we want to do our best to slowly minimize how much prompting we're giving our child. So from full hand over hand, we then move into partial physical prompts. So rather than me completing the whole action for Shelda this time, I'm just going to give her a nudge or a tap or whatever is required for your child to sort of be switched on and like, oh, okay, I need to offer a response. So, Shelda, give me the yellow car. Great work. So that is a physical prompt. Now, a physical prompt can range quite a bit. So I can just do the old and almost wake her up a little bit. Or if she's still at that point where she doesn't necessarily understand which is correct, as she goes to reach, I can pretty firmly guide her to where I want her to be. And that's just there, and you're starting to create that association between what you're saying and the correct response. Now, another prompting method, which is, as I said, in the hierarchy, it's now, once again, below physical prompting. It's less of an extreme prompt than physical prompting, is gestural prompting. And this is pretty straightforward. We just gesture towards what we want the child to do. So, Shelda, give me the yellow car. And that is a gestural prompt. You can gestural prompt, once again, in quite a large spectrum. So, I mean, that would be a gestural prompt, that would be a gestural prompt. Looking at it with your eyes really intently would be a gestural prompt. For some kids that aren't that engaged with your face yet, you might have to really get down and give it quite an intense gestural prompt. But that is, once again, if you can get away with a gestural prompt instead of a physical prompt, I would recommend that you do so. Now, further down that rung of prompt extremeness becomes positional prompting. So if Shoulder isn't getting it that accurately at the moment. I can positionally prompt by placing one item slightly closer towards her. Typically, I would present the items in a neutral position, and then after I give my instruction, I would create a positional prompt. So, shoulder, give me the yellow card. Now, the better she gets at seeing that positional prompt, I wouldn't touch it after I've given the command. I would give my instruction and then have it already set up in the positional prompt with the yellow card slightly closer. Shoulder, give me the yellow card. Just as so. And you can make positional prompting very subtle with a slight difference, and this is often a great thing to do. If, for instance, let's pretend shoulder is doing nothing but grab for the green card whenever I ask her for any option. I can almost have the green card out of reach and the yellow card right next to her and say, shoulder, give me the yellow card. And that's how you can use positional prompting. Now, kind of the final prompting strategy we use, which is the least possible prompt you can give, are verbal prompts. So let's say we've got a kid like shoulder. She doesn't know this skill yet, but I mean, typically at a kid who is at the point where you're regularly verbally prompting, they'll probably be able to figure out this card versus that card. But let's say she doesn't, and I'm going to ask her to get me the yellow card, but she's going to slowly reach towards the green card. So, shoulder, give me the yellow card. Yep. So, I've essentially directed her there with, the sounds that are coming out of my mouth. Now, if you can verbally prompt to teach a child a new skill, that's great, because you don't want to be touching them, you don't want to be moving them around too much. If a kid is already in tune enough for you to be able to look at you and be like, okay, like they're giving me the no, so I need to go to the other option. That's really great. Now, having gone through that entire prompting hierarchy, there's something really important that I want everyone to be aware of, and that's you want to be trying to consistently fading prompts to nothing from the top of the hierarchy, which is your full hand over hand, to verbal prompting. You really don't want to be doing any of it. You want to be fading through that system as much as you can, as fast as you can, because what bad prompting looks like is when a kid is in the middle of developing a skill and they're almost figuring it out independently, and then you jump in there and over prompt. Now, when you are over prompting a child, so you're prompting at a level that is you're providing them more support than they need, that can actually result in the development of something that's known as prompt dependence. And we don't want our kids to get prompt dependence, because all that really means is that the kid has figured out that, I've got a pretty good idea of what this is, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm just going to wait and see what my prompter does for me. And you really don't want them to have that mindset. You really want them to be a brave learner, where they're just attempting things and not waiting for you, but knowing that there is that safety net there if they're not sure what they're doing. So, is there anything else you'd like to say about prompting?
No, I think we probably covered most of it there.